really got into jumping from street photography to mainly to doing woodland photography from the time and I had to myself when we were going through the tough times of COVID. And I used that time to try different aspects of photography, and one of the things I've always wanted to get into, one of the things I've been inspired to get into is doing woodland photography. Why woodlands? Because every tree has a character in every season and no two trees are the same. That factor kind of got me into trees. It is a drastic change from doing street photography. I wanted to do it in my own style. I wanted to try to adopt a different perception. It's a big difference from being hurried around when you're doing street photography, feel like you're rushed. You can slow things right down with doing woodland photography, and that's one of the reasons why it appealed to me. I got in touch with nature more with actually walking around woodlands. I know that sounds a bit of a cliche, but it really done something for me during COVID. Forest photography gives you that challenge because you do have to go out in the right conditions, and to me the actual whole thing of actually being and immersing yourself in a forest is absolutely mind-blowing. To me it just feels everything that photography should be about. It's not just about the camera, it's also about being there in Mother Nature. It took me a while to get past the chaos and everything, but when I started to see what I liked and the composition I liked, I thought, great, I'm going to come here often. I went to local places. It's about really finding a story from chaos. A shot reveals itself when you're looking, of course, but you're looking for separation. They're different from woodland photography as any other genre. There's so much chaos, people get confused and they get put off very quickly. But if you take a bit more time, and if you go into a woodland in different conditions, trees present themselves in unusual shapes and forms. It's about really finding a story from chaos, and it can present itself, believe it or not. It's not just it's not just seeing trees. It's that saying was seeing the wood from the trees. I suppose it comes into play. You have to see a pattern. You have to see a story coming out of the chaos. I'll give an example. Simon Baxter done a great picture of 5 trees in a row, and he called it a dysfunctional family. He had like 2 parents grown over and the saplings in the middle and all these twisted gnarly trees like those the drunk uncle. No, that's just an example, and he is one of the photographers that does get that across very well. And I think every woodland photographer does do that. We're trying to give you a story, so the main thing is seeing how the trees present themselves and trying to get a story, making embrace the chaos and trying to make a story from the chaos, really. What I do is I tend to look out for a shot in a woodland that I can actually go back and see it in different conditions. And I know when I go back to that same shot, I'm going to get a better photograph. I feel that me doing local, going back to these same places that people find probably boring, that I know these trees inside out. And it's local areas that I go to, and I tend to home into these places, and I know what tree does, what kind of tree looks like in a certain type of light. I know where to go back at a certain type of season. So I have all that in my mind, and that's how to get in tune with the actual photography aspect of woodland photography. Is I feel you need to really understand your local area and understanding what the trees are going to be like in each season, and where you're going and you can get there fast. So my style is a combination of going out and getting the story of what I'm looking to getting that final picture, going back home and doing post-processing and just doing simple adjustments, nothing too major. Not have the image too bright. You want to mute your green, you don't want the sky to come into the shot. So it's all these come into play. So the post-processing is probably about 60% of my style. I don't use presets or anything like that. So it's interesting to get out there in your woodland and find these compositions. Look past the trees. I'm not looking for people to love my work. I'm looking for people to understand my work and where I'm coming from.